And I want to try to save these big sheets here.
The bark?
Yeah, if I can. It might be so rotten that I won't be able to.
That one's in there solid.
Hi guys, Kenny with UglyTent. Got my buddy Rick with me today. We're out here at the old camp. We're going to deconstruct some of it, and then we're going to use the fire pit or the fireplace, make it a fire pit, and cook some steaks on it. I'm going to show you Rick's knives. He's got a knife collection that is incredible, and he knows more about them than most people on YouTube. So I told Rick, I was like, you've got to get these knives. I got to get these knives on video when you talk about them, because it's awesome to watch and listen to. So here's a good look at the fireplace that was inside the shelter. If you haven't seen those videos, go back and check those out. But we're going to take some of this apart. But this gives you a better look on how it was built without the shelter around it. And it worked great. I promise you we're going to get to the knives, Rick's knives, but we're going to build a fire first. So he's doing a good job. He's getting everything together. Look at these nice and organized piles. He's got his smalls and his fuel. Got a little bed going on the inside.
Been taught well.
He knows what he's doing. Did you see the new Wazoo hat? Sporting the new Wazoo hat. Put you on the spot. What knife are you using?
This is the Wright legume. It's a specialty knife that he makes for a company up north. Really hard to get a hold of. I was lucky enough to win this one. Razor sharp, really good little handle, nice flat back design. Just a really, really good bushcraft knife. If I can remember just to take the angles off. One thing about Wright knives is they're razor sharp, so if you apply too much pressure, too much bite, it will go straight into the core of that wood.
Golly. It's like 4th of July.
Let's see if we can get a fire with this bad boy.
There you go.
And we got fire. Okay, that's good. It's not boiling. That's awesome.
You brought your cooksa.
I do. I use this thing more than I use any knife in the world.
The cooksa.
I use this every single day. I drink hot tea out of it, cold tea. It's my go-to cup at the house. When I'm at the home, I just grab my Kupalika cup and go. Oh yeah.
I brought an OGSI cup.
Hey, that's just as good.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
We'll swap these sheets back out real quick because this isn't the knife that comes in.
Wow. All right, so we got our fire going good. Rick's got some rice in the billy pot there. And he's got his Hidden Woodsman haversack here full of the knives.
Yes.
So let's do some knife talk.
Alrighty, let's see what we got here first. Well, I'm an Wright fan, so I'm going to go ahead and get those presented first since you've already seen the legume.
So this is my buddy Rick, like I said earlier.
Nice to meet you,
Rick's a good friend that came in. I met him, he came in the shop, my survival and bushcraft shop one day, and we've been fast friends since. So you're also on Instagram under
Adventure Outdoors 606. Me and my girlfriend go out and just take pictures of our wilderness adventures and camping and cooking and just having fun in the woods.
Yeah. So I follow him on Instagram. I know him, I just didn't know what his tag was exactly. But anyway, follow him on Instagram. He's got some really good stuff.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
All right. Well, the first up is actually a knife that was given to me by my son for Father's Day, and this is the LT Wright Genesis, and it's a Scandinavian grind, Kephart design. Probably one of the best bushcraft design knives you're going to find on the market.
That is awesome. That's beautiful.
And it's got the black micarta scales on it. All these knives are handmade in northern Ohio. And you can follow those guys on Instagram or follow them anywhere.
Is that the sheath that came with it?
This is the JER sheath that comes with them.
Wow. What about the ferro rod? Does that come with it?
The ferro rod is actually made by LT Wright. Yeah, they're about $45, and they will actually custom make you a ferro rod that will match the knife handle of your choice. And I do that often with LT Wright's knives. I try to pair them up with a really, really nice ferro rod from them, because everyone's always going to keep a ferro rod with them in the woods.
Beautiful.
Still keeping with the LT Wright models. I don't have as many as I want, but I'm getting more. This is the LT Wright Genesis, and this has the black polished micarta on it, and it's got more of a wood lore design with the way the blade shape drop point sort of. These handles on this knife have to probably feel better to me than just about any other LT Wright knife. I don't know if the maker just had the right size hand as I do, but when you look at them on the internet and watching them make these knives, you can see them hand make them and hand tune these things to where they just fit beautiful and perfect, and it shows in the craftsmanship. Absolutely shows. I haven't water pressed this sheath yet, so this is actually just your standard sheath that would come with this knife, nor do I have a personalized ferro rod with it either. Moving right along here, we got a this is the Lars Fault knife from Castrum, and this knife is made out of K720 tool steel. Absolutely razor sharp.
Is that curly maple handle?
It is curly birch.
Curly birch.
Yeah, they use a lot of curly birch in their knives. Castrum does, and I really, really like these a lot.
This is beautiful.
Obviously, it's like a wood lore style design, and they feel amazing in hand. The handle I would think would be a little slippery, but after taking it out and using it a little bit, it doesn't at all. It handles, there's no hot spots. Got some nice black liners in there.
Is that the standard sheath?
This is the standard sheath, yeah. All I did was add a dangler to it with the cognac colored leather to match. Yeah. I think this is an absolutely fine knife for if you're a beginner or if you've been doing this for a long time. Right. One of these will last you a lifetime. All right, this next knife here that I'm going to show you is my Adventure Sworn Classic with the white G10 scales. It's got I love how this knife's made. This knife's got a disappearing tang and comes back. A very, very sharp knife. I acquired this knife secondhand, so it had seen some adventures before me, and I've taken it out many times and had some really good time with it. And it's got a really nice Coke bottle handle, style handle.
Oh yeah.
Really, really nice sheath. These come from Adventure Sworn.
Nice.
Those rivets and accents are nice.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is nice.
And that's done in 01 tool steel. And this next one here, this is an actual custom-made knife. I got this on request from my friend Patrick at Rose Hollow Forge, and he's actually an American knife maker, an American person, and he built a Ukrainian or Russian Yucatan style Yakut knife for me. And it was the first one he'd ever made, and it really, you can see it's been used a lot. I take this thing out quite a bit, and it is it's a great carving knife for making anything around a camp that you'd want to make. It notches perfectly, super easy to sharpen. If you can see how it's how that's hammered in there. There was no reason for him to take this knife design and try to change it, because it's literally been a basic knife design for thousands of years. This knife design's never changed, and it doesn't need to. It's absolutely perfect. And there's several people that make these knives in the United States and overseas where they originate, and I don't think you'll find a finer bushcraft knife. As long as, I think some of them look a little flimsy to me. This one I wanted a little bit wider, a little bit more beefed up, and I'm seeing a lot more trending that way with the Yakut knives being made, especially by some American designers. They're making them a little bit wider and a little bit thicker back here to handle up to the bushcraft chores that we use them for.
Cool.
And this is a Jack Russell US leather sheath that I paired it up with, and I just thought it kind of looked good. Kind of got that old look to it. Little paracord handle. I'm gonna replace this and put me a nice handcrafted walnut bead on there, or an oak bead.
Dude, it's like an endless bag of knives.
There's just a couple more in there, but they're more production knives. This knife right here, is more of a
wow, that's pretty.
yeah, it's more of a, thank you, it's more of a tool in the woods, I think, more than any, like you just use it as a regular knife, because you really can do just about anything with this. This is from Helle, and it's the Viking
Gotcha.
knife. A little bit longer than the other one they have, looks like this, but it's got the curly birch handles on it. You would think it'd be smooth, but it's not. It's really grippy when you're using it. Super duper lightweight.
I love the sheath on that too.
It's kind of like a beefed up Mora.
Yeah, that's
is what it reminds me of. It really does. But I guess maybe that's, you know, Scandinavian. That's where Mora got their ideas. It is handmade, so there are flaws. When you actually buy one of these knives, you're going to see that they're not going to be perfect in any sense, but they will absolutely work perfect. There's nothing wrong with this knife at all. Got a little bit of a grind issue right there.
Here, put your hand behind it so I can see. Stand by. It's focusing.
Raging fire.
There we go. Where's the grind issue at?
You can see just a little bit how that grinds off, just a tiny bit.
Oh, yeah.
And when I first saw it, I was like, wow, I don't know if I like that. And then I remembered, you know, the really nice note that came with this knife explaining to me how a person had made this knife specifically for me. And that just kind of put it right back to being special. So I didn't care if the handle was crooked. I didn't care if the thing's not ground right. It cuts like a razor blade. And I've carved many projects with this. Wooden spoons, including a fork. A very lightweight traditional sheath, except for the carabiner that's on here. I use that to hook it to my belt. But this is a 100% made in Norway. And these people are proud people. They make really, really great knives. Helle knives are amazing knives.
It is beautiful.
And I love this end cap here.
What's the end cap? I mean, what is it?
It's just a peg. That's hammered steel, and that's just the peg that goes in there.
Oh, that is cool.
Just pinned out. I think they call it pinging. They ping the handle.
Huh.
I think. Not 100% sure on
tough.
that. Roast me in the comments. Not 100% sure. This was the first, I think I would consider my first real bushcraft knife that I got. It was inspired by a YouTube channel that I watched, obviously before my buddy Kenny's come along. But this is a TBS Boar, and it screams bushcraft. I mean, that's what it is. It's similar to the Lars Fault knife that I showed you earlier. It's got made out of the K720 steel. 1/8 of an inch thick, got red liners underneath some black micarta scales, the TBS Boar logo. After you clean them so much, that logo will almost come off.
Yeah, it's faint on the video on camera. Pretty.
And these things come with the DC sharpeners from Falkneven,
okay.
I believe, and they come with their own custom ferro rod.
Orange, so you can find it.
And everything's attached to this sheath. This sheath is actually the standard issue sheath with that.
Wow.
Now they have some new ones that have like a fold over, and they've eliminated this piece here, but it can be carried, you know, in the upright position like this, or it can be carried in the Ranger or Scout carry like that on your belt.
That is beautiful.
Keep it. It's a little bit heavy, so I think Scout carry for this knife is a really, really good option. But you got all your tools right there. Your knife needs sharpened, you sharpen it. And this also comes with a scraper in there too that they provide. Little pouch
Fantastic,
thing.
yeah.
You got a little wood processor scraper and a can opener. This next one here is the Brisa 125 Nesmuk. This is a Scandinavian grind. This isn't a kit. I actually just bought this knife right off the internet, and it came just like this. I did polish the blade up a little bit after I took it out and used it a little. And this is the standard birch. This is not the premium birch that you can order from the company, but with a little sanding and a little bit of oil, you can actually make it look very premium birch. This is what it looks like after you take that factory finish off and put a little bit of elbow grease and a little bit of boiled linseed oil to work for you. You can really bring that out.
Yeah.
And that's probably the most frills about this knife. This knife is a workhorse. It's nothing fancy, nothing pretty. It fits amazing in the hand. 90-degree spine, good for making some shavings.
Very nice.
Last but not least, this is probably one of the last knives I got other than my legume, and this is a WC Collins knife. This knife was made in Texas.
It's got to be good if it's made in Texas.
It's got to be good if it's made in Texas. They put a lot of pride in everything they do. Texas people are proud people, and it shows in their blade work. No doubt about it. I'll spin this baby around. Now, she's been used. She ain't no safe queen. WC expects you to use these things. It's made out of the AEBL steel that he's known for using, and it is pretty much impervious to just about anything, and it is razor sharp, as always with all my knives. Got custom little bead on there made out of honeysuckle. Put it on a leather.
Looks good, man.
Something else interesting about this knife is when you order their knives from the company up north, Great Northern Knives, they have a person make sheaths for them. This one was made from Ghost Town leather, and the gentleman there actually named this sheath.
Put your hand behind it for me.
And they messaged me and asked me if it was okay to send this, and I told them absolutely. That I thought it would be great to carry something that somebody made specifically for me and for this knife.
And what did you name it? Feather?
Named it Feathers.
Feathers.
Yeah. And it is really, really good thick leather. And then I've also paired it up with a LT Wright handmade matching ferro rod. Got brass inserts and brass pins to match it up.
Nice. Very nice.
It's one of my favorites right there. Thank you.
Awesome. Is that it?
Nope. No, I got.
But wait, there's more.
Wait, there's more. Now this one's going to test my YouTube speech. This is from a company called Versalica, I believe, and this is the Terava Jacari Puco. This is the medium-sized one. It's not the small one, and it comes in this sheath. Got a nice dangler on it, leather. This knife, by far, I have to say, has probably the most comfortable handle of any, I want to say bushcraft or survival knife. These knives are made for a military style purpose, but when you put this knife in hand, it literally feels like it just melts into your hand. It's 1/8 inch. It's super, super strong. 80 CRV steel. Really, really strong steel.
Very basic looking. But I like it.
It is very basic.
Yeah.
And I think that might lend to its capabilities in the woods. You don't have to expect a lot out of it other than the fact that it's just pretty much indestructible.
Yeah.
So, and I know
Looks
people,
like a Rambo knife.
it does, and there's people out there. There's some Dutch boys out there that have tried to destroy this knife so many times. And another thing, the price point on this knife is $40.
Wow.
Like this knife by itself is $40 worth of bushcraft knife, and then you get this right here, and they call this knife the Garberg killer. And most bushcrafters know what a Garberg is.
Yeah.
So let's just move right on to that Garberg.
Let me see that sheath. That sheath.
See that sheath? That sheath is very nice, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's leather with like a
It's leather.
Kydex insert.
It's got probably a plastic insert just to keep this thing from cutting it, because it will cut it. It would absolutely cut the whole bottom out of the sheath if you shoved it in there with any kind of enthusiasm whatsoever.
And it's got a snap on the side.
It's got a snap
I
too.
love the design of it. I think it's just.
It all looks good except this dorky paracord I got stuck on the end of it, so I don't lose it in the woods.
It's all right.
And then you have your Mora Garberg, and you just can't go wrong with a really good Mora. And when Mora came out with this knife, and it's been out for a long time. I live in southeastern Ohio, Appalachian country, so around here it's always damp. It's kind of moist sometimes, so we just a nice stainless steel knife. As much as we love high carbon steel knives, sometimes a nice stainless steel knife would be more apt to our environment. And I think if you had to pick just one, if it's not a WC knife for the AEB steel, this is going to be the one I'm going to pick for every day in this damp environment.
Yeah.
And you just can't say too much about a Mora.
Can't go wrong. Yeah.
Cannot go wrong.
Beautiful knife.
It's literally bulletproof.
Yeah. Good deal. Is that it?
That's it. No more knives.
That's awesome.
We're all knived out.
Check out that pile of knives. Good grief. All right, I'm gonna shoot the outro here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know I did. I enjoyed listening to Rick talk about these knives and seeing these beautiful knives. They're truly a work of art. Appreciate Rick coming along. Appreciate his knowledge. Not a problem. Anytime, man. He's gonna fix some steaks for me. Yeah, I'm getting pampered on this trip. So he's gonna grill up some steaks and some rice, and we're gonna sit back and relax, enjoy the fire, and enjoy the fellowship, and have some steak. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy the video. We'll see you next time.
Didn't think I was going to be a fan of that rice, but it's actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
We like to eat steak in the woods.
Yes, we do.
I definitely appreciate you having me. It's been a good trip.
It's been fun.